I thought it looked better on mantle myself.
I'm putting it where he'll best see it.
Well, he might not call in. I'll take it round when I've done, though I don't see why you can't.
He'll say it's because I want to know what's in it.
Well, you do, don't you?
I don't want to know his business. I'll not take his cheek, neither.
It's probably something or nothing.
There's only one I know of that'd send him a letter addressed here. Toby.
Toby's dead.
Has got a point there.
Fancy watching Rovers this afternoon?
I might. I'll check it round.
There's a letter for Sam. He's dying to know what's in it. You know what letters are to your dad.
Bad news.
Aye, till they prove themselves otherwise. Is that your demop suit?
The cloth's all right, but it's not exactly made to measure. Well, I better get used to it.
Could you go down to the council office for me?
Aye. I'm calling at school to tell Watkins I'll be able to start next week. What is it this time?
Same again. Roof's leaking over our bed.
Didn't Ainsworth come?
They came last week. Said he'd get on to the landlords, but nobody's been. I keep saying snows, aren't we?
Oh, will they, Wallace? That's on council.
Well, they're all Labour, aren't they?
Have they? Could have fooled me.
Have you any home calls to come?
Dad, my mum asked you something.
Eh?
You must be in love.
I said, have you any home calls to come?
Aye.
Well, we're running short.
I'll see to it. You watch your mouth.
Said nothing.
Speak when you're spoken to, not afore. Just because you won a scholarship to high school doesn't make you grown up, you know. No. Not clever, no. Look, a lot of it. Just look. You're no better than anybody else.
I never said I was.
Well, think on. Just think on. Just think on.
He's getting up. He says he'll be down in a minute.
Does he always get up at this time?
When he's not working. He had a night out last night.
When does he not have a night out? I'd best leave this with you, then.
Would you like a cup of tea? It's made.
Well, if it's made, I'll get rid of it for you. Still at each other's throats, are they? Sam and your chap?
They get on no better, if that's what you mean. He was looking for another place, or so he said.
Sam?
I thought he was determined, but he's made no effort since. He was offered a place at Mrs. Ruffley's that he's always fancied. Well, that mate of his lodges that's a Bevan boy, he's leaving.
He turned it down.
Well, if that doesn't suit him, there's nothing else likely to, is there?
Has he said why not?
Not to me, he hasn't. But then you know him. He wakened our Les last Sunday at 7 o'clock. Come on, he says. We're off on a day trip to Scarborough. Not a word the night before.
Well, Grandad,
Turning into a layabed, are you?
what's up with the lay-in?
It's not what you was brought up to.
Aye, but there's nobody to say me nay now, is there? I'm a big lad now. I'm catching up.
There's a letter come for thee.
And you brought it round? Well, thanks, Grandad. That's very good of you, Grandad.
It must be from somebody that doesn't know the address right.
I wonder who that could be.
If they opened it, that'd see.
Aye, I would, wouldn't I? Spoil it, though, wouldn't it?
For what?
Who is there that'd write to me? It's thick, heavy, interesting, eh? I tell you what, I'll put it up there and look at it. I don't get many letters. I'll tease myself wondering who sent it. And one of these days, I might even open it.
Now get back.
Oh, have a good journey, Grandad. Don't get cold on the way.
I'll put it up there and look at him. The cheeky young bugger. Have a good journey, Grandad, bloody upstart.
That do you?
You're a smasher.
Where did you get to last night?
Dance at Cas. Mean who with, don't you?
Sally Nimmo?
You're out of date. Joyce Baxter from up near church.
Oh, flying high, aren't you? Where'd you meet her then?
Round cow at Galway.
Her dad's the manager at Weston's over at Cas, isn't he?
Aye. Want a job there?
I could do with the money.
Before I forget.
Thanks.
Shouldn't it be going up?
Thought you weren't stopping.
I'm not. Be a month or so yet, though.
Oh, you found somewhere then?
I too, didn't I? Got me marching orders.
Where you going?
You'd never guess.
Hey, you're not getting red.
Don't look as if I was sickening for something. I'll let you know when I'm ready to move.
Well, why not now, Sam? Why do you always have to make such a big secret out of everything?
Me?
You know you do.
It's all you've got, isn't it? What's up here? If anybody wants it, they have to ask. It's yours, for what it's worth.
Well, I've no secrets worth bothering about.
Things happened when I was a lad that nobody ever talks about. Nothing secret there. Nothing you'd not want to tell me that nobody else will.
Shut up, Sam. What's past is past.
You've a secret. I touched it then, and it hurt.
Yes, well, if I can be hurt, then so can you, so you better watch it, haven't you? You've lived here a good few years now. I know you a lot better than you think I do. You're a romancer, for one thing.
Am I?
I don't believe you've been out with Joyce Baxter for a start off.
Don't you?
Have you been to her house?
Can't have, can I, if I've not been out with her? So all you wanted to know what her house looks like inside?
It's not like this one, I'll be bound.
No. I don't suppose it will be.
Oh, get out of my way, you get a kid. Oh, Sam! No, stop barking about. Come on, everybody get a kid. Oh.
Where's Les?
He's down the allotments.
Did you ask him?
No.
Ask me what?
What's George up to?
George,
Aye, George. They knows George, doesn't they?
I don't follow you.
Nay, Sam. Come on, Sam, you can do better than that. They knows if anybody does, and I know most on it. Brown cow at Galwick. A married woman, I'm told.
She's a widow.
He's not a bloody widder, is he? He's got a missus and kid.
It's nothing to him.
What ain't? Her or Ethel?
Her, of course.
Certain of that, are you? You can swear to that, can you? That he'll not leave home for her?
Leave home for her, he'd not leave Ethel.
Oh, so you're just taking it for granted? Well, you should take it not for granted in a situation like that. You ought to know that. Is what your dad did, ain't it?
Oh, there's no need to bring that up.
Isn't there? I'm thinking of Ethel. If they knows out that I don't, the best think on it. If you watch out for him, he watched out for you for long enough.
Is your Les coming out?
Oh, he's down at the allotments, love.
Thanks.
How long have you known about it?
A week or so. Thought it would a bit of a lark, did you? Old George having a crack at a widow. That sort of thing breaks homes up. Is that a lark? I can tell you it isn't, mate.
You can tell me.
You heard.
You what?
You heard!
You tell me.
Shut up, you two.
You watch out for him. You owe him that much.
What's it this time? Arithmetic?
Math.
Oh.
I don't understand it at all.
I'm not much help to thee, am I?
Neither is my maths mistress.
Should have had a father who were up on things.
Such as what?
Well, things like
Like backstuds and such as that?
Here, give us a hand, eh?
Off at club?
I don't know. I might be. I go where fancy takes me.
Oh, to be a man.
It's not all beer and skittles, you know.
I know. Darts and dominoes as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry I went on at you this morning.
Are you?
I'm sorry I am. Work's been getting me down a bit lately, you know. We're on a fault.
That's all right then.
You'll never think too badly of me, will you?
I think you're wicked.
George? Done that paper?
You're late with it, aren't you? You said I'll have it finished by Monday. I'll mark it tonight and see you tomorrow.
Yes, miss.
And it's to be hoped it's better than the last one.
Can I borrow that algebra with the answers in back?
You're supposed to work out the answers yourself.
Aye, but it helps, you know, to check them after.
Fooling me won't get you past the examiners.
It's these double equations, just till I get into them.
Oh, well. If you fail, it won't be fun to try on my part. I'll fetch you.
Giving you a bad time, is she?
She means well.
Ah, most of us mean well.
Off to Brown Cow.
Hey, Sam. Keep the voice down.
Waste of time, George.
That's not what they said before, is it?
For thee, I mean.
Well, it's my time. Keep your nose out of it if that's how it feels.
Sam,
Ethel?
are you
Well, I'll be off then. See thee.
See they?
I'll be locking front door. If you're late, you'll have to come right back.
Aye. Right, I will then.
Where's our Sam?
He went.
All that fuss about wanting answers. Well, he can work 'em out for himself. It's time he did anyway.
I was not the only one with troubles and nose. I'm growed up and I've got troubles. The scene now yet. Wait till they gets wed. Wait till they ask you for the wage that they's earned.
I'm not going to get wed.
They will, though.
What if I don't want to?
That's trouble. They'll want to.
Why will I want to?
Because they will, that's all. When they starts courting.
Back at Gospel Hall at Longgrass.
Who told you that?
Tommy Jameson did.
What else did he tell thee?
He told me. He told me a lot of things.
He knows all about it, does he?
Aye. I shan't get courting.
Because of what he said? And I know somewhat he doesn't know.
And I know somewhat else I know. Back at Gospel Hall is Coggy's scrapyard. And there's no grass grows there, long or short. It's a saying, that's all.
Did my courting in here. With your Aunt Ethel. When it were raining. She'd not come in when it was fine. Never rained enough in them days.
Tell your mum I've gone, eh?
For good.
I'll see you later.
What are we whispering for?
Now we are taking you over to Victor Sylvester and his orchestra, who will sign on with dancing on my own.
Was that your dad?
He's gone out.
Yeah. Well, I'll be going out in an hour or two. Do you want to stop here or go round to your grand's?
Stop.
Have you got a sore throat?
No.
Well, talk proper then. What did Sam want when he came round?
Algebra answers. Is that your best coat?
What about it?
I've only been out in it twice. Got a fancy man.
You're not too old to have your ears boxed, madam.
Great balls of fire. What have I said now?
You know very well what you've said. Don't you come that scarlet harder with me either.
Where's Gran?
In there.
What's he up to now?
Sam.
What's he shut the bloody door for, eh? Hey?
He's asking advice from Mum. Private.
Private? About what?
Well, his love life happened.
Him ask advice about women. He knows more about women than bloody Casanova did. We'll have no secrets in this house. I'm damned if we will. What's this, then?
It's deeds of a house.
House? What house?
Sam wants to give it us.
House?
It's one of them houses round Cowley Street that used to be deputies' houses.
One that Toby left me.
Toby left the house?
More than one.
More? How many?
Guess.
Nay, I'll not play games with thee. I asked how many.
Aye, well, since you asked, Grandad, 14.
14 bloody houses?
Round Cowley Street, across from Toby's old chapel, and next to Corby's garage.
I see. So they's got what they wanted.
What I wanted?
To be different from the rest on us. It's in the blood, isn't it? On your side of the family, and not on ours, thank God. Your name's Wilson, not Barraclough.
Jack.
What other side?
And your father? Did Toby leave him note? Has he left note for his Harry?
Happen?
Aye, they're good leavers, the Wilsons. They leave and they don't come back.
He came back once before he left for good.
Looking for excuses for him now, are we?
I care neither one way or t'other. I just like the record straight, that's all. You'd have sent him packing if he'd come back again.
Who told you that? That's Sky next door, was
Now,
it?
look.
Nay, but she's right. I would have had he showed his face again. I looked after my own, he didn't. He left thee to fend off us.
Well, I'll be paying you back then, won't I, for the debt I'm supposed to owe you?
Jack, you're saying things you don't mean.
I took note from Toby living, I'll take note from him dead.
From me, not Toby.
And where did thou get it then? Thou pays the debts with what thou earns, if thou's pauper enough to have any.
Jack, we could have his own house, Jack. They're good stone houses, them.
I went to her first for a good reason, didn't I? He'd no right to raise the hope. Some of them houses are likely to be condemned. Did Toby not tell thee that?
Aye, he did. He told me that.
And where would we go to when they'd been condemned, supposing we'd taken your offer?
They'll not all be condemned, if any.
Well, they bloody should be! Seen Councillor Dent, has he? I was going out with his lassie, as I remember. Greased his palm.
Look out for what you're saying, Grandad.
Deny it, then. Why should you deny it? There's plenty others in his debt. Arthur Corby that owns half Galwick. He's not had a house condemned yet, and for why? Everybody knows he's a mate of Taffy Dent.
That's talk behind Taffy's back.
He should turn and face them that talk at him, then.
Happen he feels as I do, I shall enter the knout that comes from behind me. And Taffy's right. What should we put in their place if we do pull down? Bloody prefabs like at Cuddy. I shall make 14 houses fit to live in.
Oh, aye. And by what mean?
By what means I can.
And what else did Toby leave thee then, if there's to do all this? Brass?
A bit.
I see.
Shall I give it back then, Grandad? Have me give it back to Grandma Wilson, would you?
She's enough of her own, that one.
Give it away then, shall I? Charity.
Charity undercuts what we claim as a right. You know damn well what I think of charity.
Why don't you answer me, Grandad?
You'll do as you please. Choose what I say.
And that's the best you can tell me.
You'll do as you please.
I'm sorry, Gran.
And don't you try bringing your gran in again, me. You think that life's on your side, don't you? You think it's on anybody's side that chooses to make it so, and them that falls by the way, you'll chuck 'em a crumb or two being able. Well, watch not to fall the scent, for the knows not of what's waiting for the if that does. Born with a foot in two camps, and small care for hope but his scent.
You're wrong, Jack.
Aye, and you're wrong about Toby. Up to his old tricks he is.
He's dead, Jack.
Aye, he's dead. He's dead, but he won't lie down.
Thanks, love. Do a lot of reading, do you?
Not much.
Now, Frank does a lot of reading. Of course, he has to with him being a teacher, like. I can't make it a tale out of most of what he reads. Funny, ain't it?
They're over your head, I suppose, same as they'd be over mine.
Oh, I can read well enough. It's not the reading of it. It's making something out of it. Puts you off if you can't make naught out of it, don't it?
I'll write you one.
What use would that be? I'd learn out from that.
Oh, think I can't teach out, do you?
I know all I need to know when I'm sitting here, I do.
Except what to do about it. You could do with a book about that, couldn't you, George? Happen I should write a book. I know more about it than you do, it seems.
About what?
About you. You could sit there for 20 years and you'd never make your mind up.
You think I'm a weakling about it, don't you?
It's easy for me. I only get one side of it.
You think I am, don't you?
It'll be settled for you in the end.
By who?
I just know it will be, that's all.
Somebody wants to wed you?
Just 'cause you think I'm a shining light doesn't mean to say the world's knocking on my door. There's nobody who wants to wed me, nor likely to be.
I wish there was, in a way.
Do you?
I couldn't stop from coming if I thought you were here on your own. Nobody to bother about you, like.
How about your wife being on her own? There's no answer to that, is there?
She's brought it on herself. Treats me like a lad. Bossed me about ever since we were wed.
Happen you need bossing about now, and I boss you about too.
Nay.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure about that. You'd be out at frying pan into fire then, wouldn't you?
I like tripe. And I can't have it because she can't stand sight of it. What sort of carry-on's that?
I don't like tripe either. Oh, I can't stand to look at it.
You're pulling my leg.
I'm not, you know.
Let's go to Browncow, eh?
I thought we'd finished going there 'cause of your nephew.
Oh, you'll say naught. All same, if he does happen. I don't care no more, I don't. I want a life.
The language difficulty. It had therefore been decided that students at the academy should be taught Russian, and those who showed linguistic ability would continue their studies in the regular army. Field Marshal Montgomery added, "We want more generals to learn Russian." That is the end of the news. Here is the sports news, which tonight includes special reports on the cup ties between Chelsea and Derby and Brentford.
You've not been cutting your nails again.
Eh?
Your toenails. There's a hole in nearly every pair of your socks.
What happened? You best leave 'em then.
Leave holes?
Aye. For toenails to poke through.
Did you have to be sharp with Sam?
Sooner or later, them houses will be condemned. Some of them were condemned before the war, from what I remember.
Well, they're no worse than this, and they're stone. Why shouldn't they change their minds? There's not a house been built for 5 years round here. Can we afford to condemn what there is?
If condemned houses are allowed to stand and folks live in them, there'll be none built to take their place. If they change their minds about any that stood condemned this past 7 years, it'll be because somebody's had his palm greased.
By Sam?
He'd not be the first to knock on that door.
You don't know that, Jack. Can you name me one that has?
No, but I can name them that's been said to.
And there's no smoke without fire, is there, Jack?
I never said that.
It's what you meant, 'cause it suits you to think so. Taffy Dent's always seems straight to me. I can't believe that about him.
He's got 5 kids and too badly for work half his time. He's more open than most to temptation. He should never have stood and put himself in the way on it.
I'll go and see if that brawn's cooled off.
Polly?
Good heavens. You're dressed up to kill, aren't you? Off out.
I've left Pat on her own. Could you look in on her in an hour or two? She'll sit there and let the fire go out without noticing.
Aye, I'll take a look at her. Hey, where are you going at this time?
I'm off to the Brown Cow at Galwick.
George?
How long have you known?
Well, I know nothing for certain. I'd have said something if I did. To him, if not to you. Are you sure, Ethel?
Yes.
You mustn't do it, love.
What mustn't I do?
Have it out with him in public. He'd never forgive you.
Him forgive me? Half skeleton nose be now. Ashamed to be seen out.
You'll shut door on him for good if you do. You know that, don't you? Is that what you want?
I'll be back when I can.
Don't
Polly.
go, I beg of you.
3 times I've worked up to this in the last fortnight and I'll not turn back now.
Don't go, love. Please, let me talk
I'm
to him.
sorry, Polly. I've got to.
You heard?
Is it right?
Aye.
I could expect it of yon other bugger. How long has this been going on?
I don't know.
Bloody fool at his age.
Better off than he's ever been. Sure of his work. A bit put by.
Not that she hasn't asked for it. By God, if anybody ever did, she has.
She's been a good wife to him, Jack, in most ways.
She stood on him.
He's needed it at times. You've said so yourself.
She's belittled him for years, never let up on him.
And you belittled him too. He's cared for you since he were a lad. And you've rarely let him see you care out for him. If there is a fault in Ethel, she shares it with you.
What you care is what you do.
It can be taken as duty, that. What have you let him do back for you and shown pleasure in it instead of taking it for granted?
I know what pleasure is after he's not cared for at home, so he looks elsewhere like a good many others.
He's not looking to be cared for, Jack. He's looking to care, to be needed. It's how he's made. Like you.
Back again, I see. Rudolph Valentino and his fancy woman. You wouldn't think they'd have the face, would you? Especially him. She'd have face for out, that one would. I wonder if he's left home. He looks miserable enough. That's what you look like if ever you decide to take your hook. Dwell on it.
You don't want another,
How do you know I don't want another?
Well, leave it a bit then, eh?
Make it last, you mean? Spending all your money, am I?
It's not that.
I know. I know.
I wish we could share one another.
Share?
Oh, you know, like, share each other.
You mean you'd share me with somebody else?
I wasn't thinking of thee so much as, well, me, like.
Me share you?
Oh, you know, sort of.
There's enough of you to go around, is there?
Oh, you know what I mean.
I share you already, don't I?
Uh-huh. But I mean, above board, like.
Oh, want a licence, do you? Are you sure 2 wives would be enough? I mean, you wouldn't rather have 3 or 4.
You're laughing at me.
Well, somebody should.
There's a place in America where they do.
Well, you'd better go there. Ain't you got enough trouble with one wife? You're a devil for punishment, aren't you?
I was thinking, that's all. Seemed a road out.
There's no road out that's easy. I'm going to have another one, George, please.
Well, if you must.
I'll get it.
No, no. I'll get it.
I can feel something at the top of the band that could be blocking it.
Oh, it must be that goat Les lost.
Goat?
A toy one out of a tin of cocoa, you fool.
What's this then?
Frank's unblocking the drain for me. Somebody hit you?
Aye.
What for?
Something out.
Well, that's the second time this month. What do they think you are, a punch bag?
Aye. 6pence a go.
Don't you ever hit back? Anyone would think you enjoyed being clouted.
I knew I had it coming to me. I've been to collect it and now I've brought it home. My home. I'll see to that.
I've nearly got it,
I said I'll see to it.
Aye. It's all right. You'll need this. It's blocked at the top of the bend.
Thanks. I'm sorry you've been bothered.
No bother.
Would you like a cup of tea or something?
No, thanks. I'll get round home. Have a call coming on. Oh, I've put a hook on the end. You feed it past and then pull.
Aye, I have done it before, that knows.
I'll get back then.
Did you have to be so rude?
Want to make me look a fool that can't unblock his own drain?
Look, it stopped up altogether. You were in the club and Frank came round.
Comes a lot when I'm at the club, does he?
You're too old for her, George.
Shut up.
She's 10 years younger than you at least.
I'm what she needs.
What can somebody else like?
So want me to dot the one.
You're not the only one that's knocked on that door, from what I've heard.
Well, you've heard wrong. She's had a few friends, like.
Friends?
Aye, friends.
Is that what she told you?
Well, I'm what she wants now. Let it be, as others say. Now let it be, she's coming back.
They say there's snow on the way and everybody's short of coal.
It's cold enough.
It's all on sidings. It's somewhere to move it with, they're short of.
Some of us will keep warm any road, one way or t'other, won't we, George?
Cheeky, ain't he? Is he always like this?
I've a very shy nature, me. Haven't I, George?
That's not what I've heard.
You should take a leaf out of George's book. He never believes rumours. Do you, George? Well, I've got to go. But I'll be back in half a minute. You're round, isn't it, George?
He's a lady killer, isn't he?
He knows I shall have to agree to it, damn his eyes.
Agree to what?
That house. He knows I'll not deny it you.
He's giving George and Ethel one. He's offered Alan, though I don't suppose they'll take it. I shall not go against you if you've got good reason. You know that.
I've always had good reason. I thought I had. I'll ask you to give no more for what I think's good reason. We shall take it.
Sam's better than you think he is. There's a lot of you in him.
Aye, I've heard that afore.
We don't say it just to gain a favour for him. You should take credit for him.
Somewhat I can take credit for in him.
He's a worker. He'd drop dead sooner than give in. Well, he gives thought to others, but he takes his own counsel in the end, choose what anybody says. He's awkward. Like thee. Like his mother was.
This battery's nearly done. Our mood is still not got to be.
They might have some next month, they said.
She'll get to bed in a while. Think of a call coming on.
Oh, put a bottle in your bed.
What's this about you and council? Thinking on it, are you?
Nay. I might go on the ward committee. I can't stand for council anyway because of Local Government Act. Can't say more than that, sorry.
Well, they do work as nobody else will do. They give the time and get small thanks for it.
That's not what you usually say.
Ah, well, I use them as a target, same as everybody else. Keep them on their bloody toes.
I shall happen move on next year. What you've always wanted me to do.
You go away.
Aye, where?
We shall move anyway to Galway.
You've changed your mind?
Sometimes it gets changed for you. You'll move on then.
Happen. Happen I shall, aye. Abroad, happen. There's a lot going to Australia.
Running away 'cause sugar's being rationed?
You wanted it for me once.
Aye. But we was in the grip of the bosses then. There's generations of muck and squalor to clear up. We need brains as well as brawn. Think on it.
Jack! Lights have gone off.
No, Sam, let me go back in.
Nay,
Look, I'm going back in, Sam. Choose what you say.
it'd be the finish, you know it would.
Well, we finished anyway.
No, you're not.
You're on his side, aren't you?
No.
I don't believe you. I bet you've known about it for months.
Well, I've known about it, aye. I didn't think it was serious.
Now you think it is?
Well, he does happen. It's a passing fancy, that's all.
Passing fancy, is it?
Of course it is. It's, it's his age, happen.
What's age got to do with it?
I suppose he thinks he's missed out on summer.
Marrying me?
No. Choose who he'd married. It's imagination, half of it.
Imagination? George?
Now, don't belittle him, Ethel. I'd not let myself get like he is for any woman, but don't belittle him.
I want to see her.
What's the point?
I want to see her.
Look through the window, then.
That's your last, mind.
Yes, George.
You promise?
Yes, George.
Well, think on, eh? Just think on.
I'll tell him you're here.
I don't want to.
I'll see it's right for you.
Right. How can you put it right?
I'll make it so it's finished between them.
How can you do that?
Will I send him out?
He likes the girls, you are, Sam, doesn't he?
They're getting out of him.
How do you know they don't?
He treats them like dirt.
Keep coming back for more, though, don't they?
If they're daft enough, they do.
It's how we are made, women.
Some women happen.
More than you'd think. We think once we've got 'em, we can change 'em.
I know that well enough.
Then when they turn to somebody else, we wonder what went wrong. We do better to take 'em as they are or take 'em not at all, if we want peace of mind.
You're wanted outside.
Eh?
You're wanted outside.
Who is it?
Mate of yours.
I'll be back in a minute.
Ready for another one?
Led's gone off.
Aye.
What was it? Same as last time?
Aye, some sort of a nightmare.
He's reading too much. Who'll give him this?
Oh, Frank.
It's a bit old for him, isn't it?
Well, it might be a bit old for you and me, but it's the sort of stuff he reads. He's gone past us.
More like Frank, you mean?
Well, not just Frank.
I'm not making out of it.
Oh. More like young Pat's gone past George and Ethel, that's all.
Takes after Frank, though, doesn't he? More than me, I mean. His daughter's blood in him as well as mine.
It's got nothing to do with it.
As well as his music and all. Half that stuff he plays, it's just a noise to me.
Well, he'd not have gone far with it if he hadn't bought him that piano.
Aye. I've done that much, I suppose. And you've kept him at it. You like it when he plays, don't you? You'd have liked to have wed a chap that read books and liked music.
Don't, Alan.
Don't what?
Well, it's just that I'm your wife. I'd not mind you being jealous, only I've never looked at another man. Nor likely ever will.
Aye. We're past all that now, aren't we? There's just me and thee now. I wronged thee twice. Once when I went with Dora, and then when I wed thee after she were gone.
Well, it's what I wanted. And what I wanted I've got. I've no complaints.
No?
Not against you.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm off to work, aren't I? I'm on bloody nights, aren't I?
You're not going back to that pub unless you mean to leave here for good.
You should at least have let me go back for my overcoat. Anyway, it was a decent thing to do.
Decent?
Leave me be.
Give us it.
I said leave me be. I've seen to it.
Pat's coming in with me. I've made her bed up for you when you get back.
Do as you please.
I have done.
You think you settled for me, don't you?
I've done what I had to do. I can do no more. It's up to you now.
Proud of yourself.
Takes two, love.
All that drink you gave me. You're as cold as charity when it comes to a woman, aren't you? You wound me up just like a clock.
You didn't say no, did you? Wearing off, is it?
He'll come back, you know. Even if she did persuade him to take her home.
You want him back?
He's more of a man than you are.
Go on.
Fault's not in him. It's in me. There's a lot like me since the war. Whose lives finished before we're 30. Living in past. Looking for a shoulder to cry on.
It belongs to somebody else, that shoulder.
He wanted to share himself. You were going to tell him, aren't you, so he'll not come back? Cold as charity. You're doing it for her, not for him.
How'd you make that out?
If you knew what it was like when somebody walks out of your life that's the biggest part in it. Like a hole in your stomach. What a place for a pain like that. Big, empty hole that'll never be filled again. Never again. You know naught about it, do you?
You're just one. Where his duty lies, there's two.
There were better ways to go about it than this. George.
Mum, come to bed. Come on, it's late.
George, look. Wait, John. Let me talk to you. I want to talk to you, George. Wait on, lad. I did it for thee, George, to show thee. You'd have given it all up for that. All you've been in your life for that, George. I did it for thee, George. Wake up, George! Hey, George. No more, George. I did it for thee, George. I did wrong. But for thee. For thee.